25 minutes, we're going to run through the godly pattern and the worldly pattern which we are conforming to. Everything that was created, God gave you dominion over it. Why did God give you dominion over everything he created? Because God made man, made them both male and female in his own image. What represents God? God is represented as a triune God. He's a God of three: God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. When I put my hand out, do you see the triune God I'm talking about? Do you see the three in your hand? Please look at your hand. Are there three parts which you can tell out? Yes? Your finger is divided into three. If you're saying no, come and I give you quick aid. You be the example. Your finger is divided into three parts. Your hand is divided into three parts. Your body is divided into three parts. If you look outside, the tree is formed in three parts. It's got the upper part, the stem, and the underground. That's the nature of God. That's the pattern of God. Let's go on. Next, guys, look at the pattern of God, if you can see it on this side. I am sure you have watched and seen videos of hurricanes. Is there anything you see in those pictures which is similar to a hurricane? Yes? You see it? The formation of God always has that pattern. I'm picking these pictures from the American Research Center. You can go and open the NASA website, read for yourself. That's the pattern of God. God has a pattern which we are supposed to follow. Let's go on. That is the galaxy, created also in the same pattern. The distance from one corner or one side to the next side would take you travel time of 100,000 light years. Light years, please don't use the timing we use in this world. We are talking about the travel speed of light. That's how big it is. When you look at that picture, are you able to locate the sun? Please answer me. Let's go together. Where is the sun? It's in the middle? Retake. Go back to class. That's not the sun. The sun cannot be seen no matter how bright it is. That is a collection of so many planets, stars, and whatever name called, which form the Milky Way galaxy, which forms part of the other planets which you studied about in your school time, which is where we live. Can you see the Earth in that picture? So the Earth where we live is that small. Can you see Uganda? So can you see you or me in that picture? That's where we are, even right now as we speak. That's where we are. Can you see me? When you see me, as in you point to yourself, can you see you? Now, in the picture of God, we are all too small. I saw my friend and colleague, her worship. That's her worship. When I go to her court, she's the worship, I am the advocate, okay? When you are in her court, she's the boss. You worship, all right? In the bigger picture of things, you can't see her in there, can you? You cannot. We are all so small, no matter the degree of titles, no matter the PhDs, no matter what, we are all created in the image of God and are so insignificant in the bigger picture of things. Point number one, let's be humble. Okay? We go to Makerere Hill, we are big, we are very brilliant, we are very clever. Can I have someone quickly answer any of these questions for me? Thank God to the visual aids, so I'm sure you all can read. I don't want to read one by one in the interest of time. Who can answer one single question out of those on the screen? If you are very smart, the PhD holders, where are you? Thank you so much for failing. So from today, acknowledge the wisdom holder is who? Is God. And in order for you to be wise, you need to go into his pattern and get out the blueprint for whatever you need to do. Are we together? Let's go on. Let's contextualize God, friends. This is our earth. Now you can see earth, okay? Out of the other bigger picture of the galaxies, now this is our earth. Zoom it in again and give me the other slide. This earth is 80% water. 80% water. And it says it suspends on nothing. It suspends on, God hangs it on. Can any of you hang anything on nothing? Can you even hang a paper on nothing? Can you hang a ball that says of my fist on nothing? So do you need God? You need to conform to the pattern of God. He's the master of everything. Let's look into God's blueprint. When he made these things, some of which we have no idea how big and massive they are, he gave us one particular mandate. And that particular mandate is in Genesis 1:26. Friends, that mandate is given only to those who are like him. And we only carry it out with the authority of God. He gave us a mandate to take dominion over the earth. Make it fruitful and replenish the earth. Replenish. What are we doing here in Uganda? Do we replenish? What do we do? I didn't hear you. We destroy. How do we destroy? Corruption. Go down. We have destroyed God's planet by working so hard to be one of the highest ranking corrupt countries in the world. Number 156. Clap for yourselves. Go down. Next slide. Congratulations, gentlemen and ladies. Some of you might know this gentleman. This is Patrick Zizinga. The lady on the left was called Annette. She was murdered. Patrick Zizinga is married to Madina Nachwala. Madina Nachwala is alive, but Patrick Zizinga was imprisoned for 11 years for the death of his wife, to which he was tried, convicted, sentenced, and for 11 years he was in our prisons. Yet his wife, Madina, was alive, visiting him and taking him food to the prisons. Your worship, I think you can read this case if you go back. In the hearing process, Annette's sister appeared, and in the testimony of one of the witnesses said, but something is very wrong here. In the first place, that man is not the husband of my dead sister, Annette Nachwala. In the second place, that woman who is testifying as our mother is not my mother. Our mother died a long time ago. She was declared a hostile witness, and the man was convicted anyway, despite that evidence. Are we together? When he was arrested, his title, which brought him problems of 350 acres, was taken by the police officer. While he served the sentence, the land was transferred and transferred and transferred. By the 11th year, when he came back, it was a city. Zizinga has not yet got his land. Next. Crescencio Mukasa. Crescencio Mukasa is a peasant was the son of a chief, shouldn't have lived the life of a peasant. So he has lived all his life as a beggar on someone else's land as a squatter, but he has got square miles of land. Somebody pushed him out of the land. In 1985, he went to try and get it done. He went to High Court. He lost. He went to Court of Appeal. The matter was decided in his favor. They said, go back and get your 2 square miles of land. The thieves who had stolen it went to the Court of Appeal. They went to the Court of Appeal. Countdown 2017, the Supreme Court, decided the matter and gave Crescencio his square miles of land. Ask me, does Crescencio have that land today? No. Supreme Court decision, Crescencio Mukasa, Google, you can read the case on your own. These are facts, reality from myth. Are we together? He doesn't have the land. What's the reason? The police refused to evict the thieves. Any police officers around the house? Clap for yourselves. Friends, I want to go to the details of this. But 3 weeks ago, someone called me. I see one of my colleagues here. And said, you see, the problem with you is you are overreading these documents. You must let some of them pass such that we can get school fees for our children. We don't eat your Jesus. And then was also thorough enough to remind me of those who had died and they had not yet figured out who are those who had killed them. But I know who I have believed. I am neither intimidatable nor scareable, nor can you dissuade me from serving the Lord I have chosen to serve. So, let's go on. That is a ferry, friends. When UNRWA was restructured, I found when payments were being made for one of the ferries, which I won't mention where, the payments had grown from 8 billion annually, this is maintenance, not buying, and had hit 14 billion. This is not the longest route of the ferry, neither is it the only one of its type. We also had other 9 ferries, and all of them together, the budget that was running the other 9 was 9 billion. Are we together? 9 billion running 9 ferries. Then there is one ferry which is 14. Are we together? What is the cost of buying a ferry? 8 billion. Buying a new one. And someone dies in Mulago because they didn't get chloroquine. Foolish Galatians. Isn't that what we are? Let's go on. That's a beautiful house. And friends, I love Ugandans to have beautiful houses. And we have potential to do much better than that house. Why? We are one of the richest resourced countries. Underground. And overground. We are rich. We have water. If you remember the other picture which we've just seen, 80% of that water, when you look around the area where we cross from, you almost don't see land, you see only water. But when the dry season comes, we starve. Every single dry season. This is the top 5th university in Africa. What is wrong with the hydrologists you are producing? Why can't we change our situations? Why aren't we subduing the world? God has given us water, minerals. Every mineral, even coal, the one which does the aeroplanes and all that stuff, we have here. Friends, do you think we are dense? The lecturers who are here, are we dense? I studied here also. Tell me, are we dense? Who is the lecturer here? Are we dense? Of course, there are some of those that wish to make people fail. I was here 2 weeks ago in the funeral service of the late Professor Gumayo, and students were standing here to testify how he was a wonderful professor, unlike some professors who are interested in making them fail. But the question is, are we dense? Can I hear an answer? We are not dense. And I can testify to this because I have not heard of a Ugandan who has gone to study abroad and not come out on top of their classes. When they are studying in America and Europe and other places, you come out on top. What is wrong with us? $600 defilements every single month. Every single month. Potentially, every girl you see walking around could have been. What's wrong with you men? What's wrong with you men? Let's go on. Do you see these guys? They're having fun. They call it fun. And you ask why we are poor? Do you still want to know why we are poor? How many bricks are on that table? How many chicks could have done a portrait project on that table? How many piglets are on that table? Let's go on. Karamoja has the highest drinking rate. Right? Highest drinking rate. This is WUBOS statistics. You can go and check. On the other side is a CNN report which says Uganda is number 1 in Africa. Uganda. Are you the richest? Are you the richest in Africa? Are you the richest? But you consume the highest alcohol per person, per liter on this continent. This is our poverty levels, friends. These are the patterns we have cut out for ourselves. And I'm very grateful to the church for allowing me to speak to the elite Ugandans. This is our poverty levels. Please note very carefully the difference on the Karamoja side. And if you have been there, think through your head, what do you see in terms of production? Do you see farms? Do you see plantations? When the rainwater is like right now, they are dying of floods. When the rainwater has gone, they are dying of drought. God gave you authority to manage your environment. Do you know the persons on the Ankole side why they are fairly okay? Go through that area and do not give me the excuse that they are stealing. They are not. They are not. I know of peasants who have not even been to P7. If you enter their houses, they are not even here with us in Kampala. Their earning is from their animals. They are looking after cattle, selling milk, and selling the animals, and growing richer, consuming less alcohol. Let's look at this picture. I took this picture yesterday, deep in Chankwanzi, the one on this side. It is in the middle of a farm, a big farm. You know it? I don't know the owner, and I hope they don't ask me why I took their picture. But I saw it, and I was impressed. Hard work. You can see that the money that is there is coming from his hands. But don't be surprised that the opposite picture might also be seated on acres of empty land. Don't you know them? Acres of empty land with such shacks. Empty what? Empty what? Nga, you're not answering me. Is it there? Yeah? Don't we have neighbors? On this side, they also have land, and they are that poor. Have you seen plantations? On the same area, you have an acre which is doing very well. On the same area, on this side, you can't even get one. The patterns we have chosen to create. God gave us the right to rule land. Everyone comes naked, everyone shall go naked. This is my message to those of us who are so lucky to be clever, to be blessed, that we have got opened eyes to work. And I'm not saying we have reached anywhere near arrivism, please. The truth is, we are too poor, even us who are here. Are we together? We are too poor. We are nowhere near being rich. Every money which we earn from our salary, we send it back to Europe and other places, and China these days, and we continue going poorer and poorer and poorer. Shame on us. What are we buying from China? I didn't hear you. Sorry? Furniture. And why can't we buy the one at Kubiri? We are too sophisticated for that class. But also that we cannot make it and turn it into a good product. We just put garbage together and put it on the street. Let someone come and pay for garbage. We are killing each other. Next. But to conclude that, friends, help someone else. Either to open their eyes, and let's help each other to help this country move from this self-inflicted poverty. I have my personal quarrels with our academic system. The history which the colonialists left with us is the one we still study. If I asked anyone here the history of Uganda, nobody knows it. You are teaching development studies. You know? Yeah? As director of legal services, people think you issue jobs like water. So they give you, well, yeah, my son finished. What have they studied? Development studies. Now, development studies. When you have a degree called development studies, where do you work? Yes, that's just a bit back. Yes, quickly. This is the statistics of where employment is, friends. Agriculture is employing the biggest number. How many agriculturalists are you training, and training them how? Yeah? Sorry? Health. Yeah, this is the highest. I've not said everything here is there. I'm saying the highest employers. The highest employers, they are here. These are the highest. Okay? Go to the other one, the other side, the one which contributes the highest GDP. This one. This is where our GDP comes from. Where is development studies? And forgive me if you are doing development studies, but you still have time to question the choices you make. Are we together? Question the choices you make. If it is not going, paling degrees of graduates of illiterate people is not going to help us move from poverty. I would rather we produce agriculturists because we have land which we can use and make money. Let's go on. I'm racing with time. Okay. Friends, the biggest problem we have in this country is our mind. Our mindset. needs a change, a complete overhaul. A complete what? Our ethics towards work are bad. The lecturer will miss the class and dodge the students. The students, when the lecturer doesn't come, they are the happiest. You jump on top of the tables. So nobody ever gets to know that, in fact, the lecture did not happen because the students were happy that the lecturer dodged. Eventually, we get out of universities and are not even able to write the application letter. Just the application letter. But you are paying millions to be in this great institute. Perhaps they are even selling land to send you here. And when the lecturer doesn't come, you celebrate. Hooray! Who is missing? Who is cheating themselves? And this is what has killed us. In the industry where I work, it is impossible to procure a road. Do you know why? Corruption. Interests from everywhere. Interests from everywhere. The concerned and the unconcerned, the bothered and the unbothered, everybody is like a shark. Who is the loser, friends? Who is the loser? The loser is you and I. That road is going to serve this country. So we delay it, complaining and writing English letters. The Chinese don't write English. They can't even speak it. We write the letters on their behalf and fight one contractor against the other, whoever hasn't got the job, and we delay the procedure of us getting a road. Congratulations. I love this country, but I hate our attitude. Friends, we think we are too learned. The truth is, if you are learned, then you know that you know nothing. It is okay for me to meet an unlearned person, and by learned I don't mean the lawyers, someone who is not educated, and they feel they know, because they have never known what there is in the world, right? But if you know how much knowledge is available, and you know how much you have, then you should know you know nothing and be humble about it. Lack of discipline, lack of self-control. These things are all going to be left in this world. Your mandate and my mandate is to improve it for the next generation. We take nothing. Now there is this stupid ideology of amassing property for my children. Do you know who will take it? The ones who did not sweat for it. Not your children. You will be lucky if they sell it. Because they will sell it and go where? To Europe to have a party. But then you will be lucky because they will have used it. But from what I have seen in my legal practice, it is us, the lawyers, who benefit. When you have left your property for your children, do you know what happens? They start fighting for it. They put us on a retainer. Every time we go to court, we send a bill. We go to court, we send a bill. Year 1, year 2, year from 1985 to 2017, how many lawyers did Mukasa pay? We are the ones who will eat it. So you save it, steal it and save it. But you're not saving it for your children. So don't deceive yourself. You have relatives who are dying of starvation. You can't give them a piglet to start from there, and tomorrow they make 6 piglets. Because you are saving money for your dear loved children. Forget, they will not use it. And I'm not speaking only from facts, but it's also a biblical principle. And because I believe that whatever is in that Bible has not been proven wrong on one day, surely even this one, don't waste your time. Do what God sent you to do in the world. Do your work. Do your work. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. And that's the basic principle. Okay? So friends, I want to ask these questions as I conclude and run out of time. Who is responsible, in your view, for the anarchy that we have in this country? Could it be the church? There's a time I was at a conference. A young man got born again. He was working with the church in Kavale, and he came crying. And he said, you know what? I've been working in a church. But the truth is, this is what we have been doing with the reverend. We have been dividing shares and presenting wrong accountabilities. So the problem is not the church, but the persons in the church. Isn't it? Is it Museveni? Let me ask you, from the examples I have given, did Museveni sit in any of the cases that I gave here as an example? Is he judge in any of them? Guys, stop blaming Museveni for your own problems. Museveni does not sit there. He doesn't. Think of any problem that you have. Museveni is so far removed from it. It is orchestrated, and we read it. You heard it? Below one officer, there is another officer, and above him, another officer. All of us still. Down, upwards. So why do you pick on the last person at the top? Museveni has the list of these problems because he is the person who meets the fewest people on this campus. Does Museveni lecture here? So the problems of this university, is it Museveni? Let us face reality and stop the blame mentality. For as long as we don't face our problems squarely and choose to blame it on someone else on the east and the west, it means we shall not deal with the issue. The issue is we are corrupt. The issue is we are stealing. The issue is we are defiling our women. The issue is we are not working. We are poor because we are lazy. Let's not blame Museveni for all our problems. Could we blame our parents? Or could it be us? Who should we blame, friends? You say me. Me, the last one, please. That's the problem. So deal with the problem. Now, friends, I love this country. I love Uganda. I tell people I would never live anywhere except here because there is no place that I have been that is as beautiful and blessed as this land. But man, making this country a better place is your responsibility and my responsibility and not Museveni's problem, not Museveni's responsibility because God gave the mandate to you. So, for whatever is noble, friends, noble, for whatever is right, friends, right, and there is never a point in your head when you don't know the difference between right and wrong, but you always choose the wrong pattern. So let us purpose for whatever is right, for whatever is pure, for whatever is lovely. Let us focus on what is admirable and excellent. Excellency, friends. Excellency. Let whatever we touch speak of excellency. If you're farming, farm excellently and give it your best. If you're teaching, teach excellently. If you're learning, learn excellently. Then we will change our situation. God bless you, friends.